Alright, well, I'm doing another knife video, and if you've watched my channel, you've probably seen a theme so far with all of the knife videos. If we can get this to focus, come on now. There we go. So, I just wanted to take this video and just show off some of my custom knives that I have either bought or had made for me. So, obviously the different models we have here, we have the Delica 4. I think that's what's called, the Delica 4. I think so. Anyways, we've got the Delica. This one does have the Emerson Wave on it, which I really like. I think the Emerson Wave is a really cool feature, and I use a lot. Benchmade 710. This knife needs no introduction as one of the probably best-selling entry-level Benchmade knives out there. Well, just about. You've heard of the Benchmade 710. Benchmade Mini Grip. This one is S30V with the sheep's foot. And then you've already seen my Chris Reeve, Wilson Combat, StarTac collaboration, and some of my other videos. And yeah, so I just kind of want to talk about knife modifying in general, and is there a purpose, what's the purpose, and what are kind of the benefits and the costs, the non-benefits of modifying knives. So what's cool about modifying your knife is you can take a knife that you absolutely love, you know, be it a Benchmade 710, be it a Spyderco. You can take a knife that is very well proven, that you absolutely love, and you can really make it your own. So the Delica, obviously the Delica has been very well proven as a fantastic EDC knife. The size is great, the weight is great, the price is great. VG10 steel, you know, some people love it, some people don't. It doesn't hold an edge super well, but it's very easy to sharpen. So proven design, lock back, nothing really fancy or outlandish, but you know, with these toxic green scales, with the black backspacer, with the standard black pocket clip, you know, it kind of gives it that zombie look, you know, that's quite popular. And so it takes a knife that's pretty basic with the just kind of the ugly FRN handles, and it gives it something special. It just makes it a little more your own. Now, I think this knife goes for about 65 bucks. When you do custom scales, you can kind of expect, depending on what you do, to about double the initial price of the knife. So that's the Delica. Benchmade 710. Again, this knife probably needs no introduction, but I got on the list of a guy named Keeman, or at least that's his forum name, and he does a lot of Benchmade modifications. If you look at some modified Benchmades, it might just be his work. So again, this one is a very proven design. I love the axis lock, even if I dislike Benchmade at the present time with their 25-30% price increase. But anyhow, I love the 710. This is just a standard D2 blade, and I wouldn't mind upgrading to the M390. But the nice thing is, let's say I do something really stupid with this knife and I destroy the edge, or I break off the tip. It's so easy to come by these D2 blades. I mean, I could swap it out myself, or Benchmade's warranty department would probably take care of it. I don't know if you want to send in a customized knife to get any work done on it, or to have any repairs done. I don't know how they feel about that. I've heard they're generally okay with it, but I mean, if you send it in and it comes back all scratched up, I mean, who are you going to blame that on? So anyways, this one has Juma scales, and it's a white or ivory Juma. It's not a pure white, it's more of an off-white, kind of an ivory color. And I saw this, I copied someone else. I saw a picture of someone who'd already done this, and I thought that is absolutely fantastic. And I've kept and bred reptiles for the last 10 years, and I'm not as much into it these days, but I was pretty hardcore into reptiles, specifically carpet pythons, for a very long time. So when I saw the snake scale pattern, I was like, wow, I'd love to have that. It really fits kind kind of into my other hobby. It's an ode or to that. This one also has the standoffs, some nice standoffs there and there, and yeah, really solid, really well made. The Juma, it's a little bit slippery, and then obviously I have one of the stainless steel arrow clips. This one got a really high satin finish, and what I actually had to do was take some rough grit sandpaper, and on the back side of this clip I actually sanded it a bit to make it a bit more rough because it was too slippery between the Juma and then the high satin finish on the clip, and I just didn't trust it to stay in my pocket. It was too slippery. So anyways, you know, I took a Benchmade 710 and I took those ugly handles off and I made something that I think is really, really cool. And this isn't something we see a lot in the knife world. Most people want to go with darker handles, ones that hide dirt, ones that look more tactical, ones that are darker. But I think the satin and the white presentation is very attractive, and it's something that might be overlooked in the knife world at the moment. Maybe we'll see some new materials that don't pick up dirt or don't get dirty. This one I haven't seen it get dirty at all. But again, I just think that the white or off-white with the satin is just a really nice presentation. It looks like a gentleman's folder. It doesn't look like a run-of-the-mill knife in the slightest. So, anyways, the Benchmade mini grip with some nice custom carbon fiber scales. These were done by a forum member named Death of All Things, and he's just got his CNC machine up and he's starting to work with micarta again. But yeah, this is a nice polished G10, and it takes the mini grip, which is a very common knife, an excellent EDC knife. This is typically like my Sunday carry when I go to church and stuff. It's very discreet, it's small, it's lightweight. But anyways, I love the mini grip, and this just takes, again, a basic knife that's been extremely popular, and it just gives it a little more refinement, just makes it a little more yours. And if I do something stupid, if I damage it and I don't want to send it back, it's pretty easy to come by any of the mini grip parts, any of the internals. This one has standoffs as well. So anyways, nice carbon fiber. But again, yeah, it just took it and it just made it a little bit more my own. Now the Chris Reeve Wilson Combat Aluminum's on StarTac, whatever the hell you want to call it. I thought the design was really cool. I preferred this over the standard Aluminum's on and over the Sebenza for sure. I mean, the blade shape is just... Sorry, I'm trying to deploy it not super hard. Anyways, the blade shape, this, you know, harpoon style is really attractive. And I don't like blasted finishes on my knives. I don't like the pocket worn look that you get as you carry it on. I don't like the way it feels. So I sent it off and I had it bronzed, anodized, and then stonewashed. And it's a very subtle change to the normal coloration, which is just a standard titanium. It's a very subtle change, but it's very rugged. And it just makes it a little more bulletproof, to me at least. It gives it something a little more special. I'm not afraid to carry it. I'm not afraid to scratch it. I dropped this once and I couldn't find any scratches after the fact. It just, if there was any scratches or any damage, it just blended in and I couldn't find it. I love the way it feels now. It's a little more smooth, and I don't know, it just feels different. It feels nicer. So the benefit when you modify any of these knives is that you take it, you make it a little more your own, you make it special, and you just make it a part of you, an extension. You put your personality into it. Now, the drawbacks are definitely, one, it can get pretty expensive. This one definitely doubled the price of the knife as well. So I mean, I don't know, it's definitely over 200 invested into a 710 at this point. Double the price of this. This one I had done by Maprik on Blade Forums, and his prices were very, very reasonable. So I didn't get anywhere close to the price on this one. I mean, it was very reasonable. This one, A little less. No, it doubled it. It doubled the price. So, anyways, you can expect to pretty much double the price of the knife depending on what knife you start with. If it's basic ones like these, you can double it. These ones, hopefully you don't. If you go with like a Phantom Steelworks murder finish and anodizing, then yeah, you can expect to double the price on that. Just depends on how crazy you want to get and how much work's involved. But anyways, the drawbacks. When you modify a knife, you can't guarantee that you're going to find a buyer who has the exact same taste as you. So, even though I essentially doubled the price on this knife, if I tried to sell it for some point, I may not find someone who is as enthusiastic about this material and about this finish as I am. So, if I did sell it, I might have to drop the price, or I might get way less than I wanted to for it. So that's something that you have to essentially anticipate. It's a lot like with cars. You can upgrade the stereo system, you can put new rims on, you can do this and that, but really when you go to sell it, it's not likely that you're going to find someone who's willing to pay the same amount of money or put the same amount of money into it as you did. And sometimes the parts or the upgrades are worth absolutely nothing to another buyer. Usually with knives you get a little something out of it, but we're not talking about $20,000 or $30,000 automobiles. We're talking maybe a couple $100 at most. So you usually get a little something, but again, you can't guarantee that the person who finally does buy your knife is going to have the exact same taste as you, so you can't expect to get out of the knife what you put into it. Knives are not a good investment. They're a hobby. This is a place where we waste our money and upset our spouses. So, we don't do it because we think we're going to invest. But, anyways, these are I think these are all my modified knives at the moment. I do have a Boker Quaken flipper that should be finally coming back into stock soon from Blade HQ, and then that'll go out to Matt Preek again, who did this one, and he's going to do some modifying on that, so I'll have another one enter the stable soon. But yeah, I love these knives. They're more mine than they were before. They kind of tell a story. They reflect me, they reflect my philosophies, and it's a lot of fun. Now, sometimes working with knife modifiers can be a difficult and expensive or a bad experience. We've all seen stories of people who got overwhelmed and the knives just never got done, or they did crummy work and people just weren't happy with it because it wasn't their vision. It's not the extension of them that they were hoping for. So do your research, ask around, be prepared to pay for exactly what you want, because if it's not exactly what you envisioned, you won't be happy with it. It'll nag you, it'll bug you. I've been fortunate thus far. This one I commissioned, I love. This one I bought secondary, but I absolutely love what the person who commissioned it did. I love what was done to this one, and I love this one too. So yeah. Anyways, try it at least once. Find a good modifier. Take a knife that you love and make it more yours. And just be careful with who you send it to. And yeah, I guess that's about it. I've pretty much exhausted the topic. And there are lots of videos on how to do your own modifications if you're brave and you want to break your Dremel. So that's pretty much it. Comments, questions? I don't know that there would be any, but stick them down in the box below or above or wherever the hell you want to stick them. I don't even care. So, thanks so much for watching, and don't cut yourself.